wet and sloppy.
The Silver Dasher.
Morning. It's Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I certainly did. Uneventful. Getting ready for this morning dash and see what our adventures are for today. Hopefully it won't be so bad, especially with the bridge still out. So I'm getting ready. So let's get started. I'm going to start the Dash app. Oh, okay. Using insulated bag. Yes, I have one. This is twice that it's asked me, do I have an insulated bag? So you think they would understand that I had one from Friday. So, all right, the app has started. And let's go ahead and get started and move to our starting position. And hopefully we have a very good day. So I will see you in a little bit. Wow, that's hopefully a good sign. Just as I was pulling out of the driveway, got the first order. We are heading to Chick-fil-A. So let's see what our adventures are going to happen. And hopefully we have a good day. So see you in a little bit. Just delivered that Chick-fil-A order, and just as I delivered, I picked up another offer was made to me, but I know I was beggars are going to be choosers, but I declined it. It was $15, but it was 30 miles, and the destination was way out of zone. In fact, it would have been near the location where the sad place is, and that's a long drive for me, and especially I've just now started. It's not right now, it's 6:37 in the morning, but so by the time I would have taken that order and come back, most of my dash time would have been over. So that was a strategic decision. My acceptance rate went down, but I would have taken it if it was towards the end of my dash, like if it would have been my last one, I would have taken it, but not this so early, just now getting started. And I said, man, just like, plus I was I had to go to a gas station to pick up a pizza, and then drive that pizza 25 miles to that location, and then it would have taken me another 20 to 25 minutes to come back into zone. And I said, no, that was a strategic decision. Hope it doesn't hurt me. It seems like if I decline something, then the offers kind of go dead for a while. So anyway, heading back to base. It's light is starting to come up. It is heavy overcast, and it's misty, so I have to be a little bit more careful with driving because the roads are wet. But it's not raining. It may have rained earlier. So anyway, head back to base. Hopefully I pick up another order real soon. We'll see you in a little bit. Well, I've arrived at home base, so to speak, right next to Starbucks. I spent this weekend, I spent yesterday washing my car, overcast. It's been 2 weeks. I tried to, as I mentioned before, I'm treating this DoorDash as a business. I'm trying to keep my vehicle clean, be presentable. Not only that, but the reason I did invest in some equipment. I went to Harbor Freight no sponsorship there. And picked up their pressure washer, not the cheapest one, but the one next step up, to help wash the cars faster. And then I also bought one of those attachments you can hook up to the pressure washer. You can pressure wash underneath the car. Now, normally I wouldn't do that, but the reason is because I'm in a rural area, where a lot of my deliveries in the rural. I've run into a lot of dirt roads and now that the weather's changing, it's going to be a little bit more wet. The winter's coming. Right now it's misty. There's going to be more and more stuff to be caked underneath the car. And going through, the car wash, they're even if you get the most expensive option, that's $25, more to have a little spritz of them spraying on your car. So I spend a little money as an investment to get some equipment to wash the car a little bit on my own, and basically maintain the car. And as a DoorDasher yourself, maintaining your vehicle is important, as I mentioned before. It doesn't matter if it's old or new. Keeping it clean, keeping the maintenance, oil, definitely the oil change, because the car is your livelihood. Whether you're doing part-time like I am, or you're doing full-time for some of the DoorDashers I've met around here, it's important. At the minimum, do your oil changes every 5,000 miles. So, yeah, I've been here about 4 or 5 minutes. Still no offers yet. Hindsight in 2020, should I have taken that order? Yes and no, but I think I still stand by my feelings. It was my second offer of the morning, and it would have taken 30 minutes to go out there and 30 minutes to come back, not counting the picking up the food. So and I only dashed for about 2.5 hours in the morning, and that right there is, close to half of my time. So it's a calculated risk. I may regret that decision, but you live and learn, learning new territory, learning how things work around. Like I said, I'm in a rural area. But anyway, going to sit here. Hopefully I'll get an order here real soon. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, it looks like my prediction is coming true. I've been sitting at my base for about 10 minutes, and I moved the jacks. Finally got an order from McDonald's for $2 and 1 mile. So I took it because it's better than sitting here. But it seems like it's going to be one of those days. And I think I figured out why. It's a Monday. And I remember last Monday, it was almost exactly like this, but I think what made it worse was it was a Monday before the day before payday. And I think not only was Monday being an issue, but nobody had money, and they didn't have money until the next day. So hindsight, I probably should have taken that $15 30 mile order. But you live and learn, and that's the way the things go, especially when you're learning your territory. I've only been doing this just a little over 2 months now. Different things happen, but at least the weather's cleared up a little bit. It's still overcast, but at least it's not really raining, at least not yet. So anyway, here in McDonald's, we'll pick up that $2 order. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that McDonald's order. Yeah, it's $2, but it was only a mile away. I mean, practically across the street to apartment complex, which I've been to many before. In fact, it's the one, if I mentioned before, that has that security camera that takes pictures of you going in and out of the property. So, and at least the delivery was on the first floor. I didn't have to climb stairs. So anyway, what I'm doing, I'm changing my home base for, at least for today. I'm going to park at Jack's, and the reason for that is, one, I'm real close to McDonald's, plus, you know, Jack's also offers breakfast too. But what makes it easier is that Jack's is right next to a red light, so it's easy for me to get. If I gotta go to McDonald's, it's easier to go to the red light because this is the main drag or main road. It's the Gauntlet Road, so there's a lot of traffic, especially in the morning. And but yeah, I think my theory of this being Monday, being not so busy, kind of holds true, because usually Jack's is packed, you know, people through the drive-through. But it's now 7:25, and I've been here for, well, at least 30 minutes, and drive-through is not really packed. Now, when I was here last Friday, they were swamped. So I think something about Monday is people are probably, you know, hung over from the weekend, and trying to, a little slow getting up, a little slow getting to work, and they don't have time to pick up a biscuit at the Jack's through the drive-through. So anyway, I am back at secondary base. Hopefully I pick up another order. Hopefully it'll be more than $2. So anyway, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, my strategy worked. I moved over to where Jack's is, and after I recorded that last clip and signed off, picked up a Jack's order just about a minute after I signed off. Not too bad. It's $11, but it's 9 miles. But like I said, it's a slow day for me. In fact, I know the DoorDasher came into Jack's. He'd been doing this for 3 years, and I asked him, "Is Monday seem to be a slow day?" He said, "No." He said Tuesday is his slow day. And so he's a veteran. He's been doing it for 3 years, and so I don't know. It's hit or miss on what your orders go through. So you just do the best you can, and you make the best decision that you can with what you got and what your circumstances. And right now it's just a wild-ass guess for me. So anyway, heading to the customer with his Jack's order. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just completed that Jack's order. Very nice house, in the middle of nowhere though. It's right next to another house, but they both share the same driveway. But it's in the middle of the woods, a little bumpy. But yeah, at least I'm happy to get that order. At least makes my day a little bit easier. It's now 7:57, so just shy over an hour left in my breakfast dash. Yeah, this is a slow day. Plus, it is a wet and dreary day. Right now, it's just misty right now, but certain parts, like when I was going on the way up here, it was just raining. It was crud. Which means that, you know, it's going to be that time, you know, when the seasons change, you know, especially right here, you know, it becomes a little bit more wet and cold. So I'm going to have to, I told my wife, I'm going to have to invest in some more official apparel, like maybe some kind of a windbreaker, rain jacket, and then a heavier coat. Like I said, it's an investment because, you know, I'm treating this as a business, and I want to look somewhat official, even though I'm not official DoorDash or employee, but I am a contractor. But this is just to promote the brand that I drive for. Like I said before, every other driver that I've met around here, you know, it's their prerogative, but they just dress like, you know, they're on vacation. You know, Hawaiian shirts, maybe a hat, and a lot of times, like I mentioned before, they look like they just walked out of bed and just hopped in the car and started taking DoorDash orders. Now there are a few, especially like I mentioned before, a little bit older, more my age, they're more dressed up, you know, button-down shirt and nice slacks. So, but that's how they want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. Anyway, heading back to my secondary base. I'm going to head back to Jack's, and hopefully I pick up another order real soon. So, see you in a little bit. Yeah, it's just wet and sloppy. Not much I can do about it, but, you know, after this is only the second time it's been wet. Rain, 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 wet, 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 sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Hope it doesn't. Hope it's not like this all day. So anyway, let's continue on. Well, changed up my strategy again. Based on the app, it looked like the hot zone was back at Starbucks, and sure enough, been there for about a minute. Picked up a Starbucks order, but right now it's wet. It's wet and rainy. Yeah, definitely gonna have to start investing in some kind of weather protection. You know, been doing this for almost 2 months without having to wear, you know, any kind of rain gear or anything like that. But like I said, things are changing. That time of year, you know, Halloween will be here soon, and then pretty soon, then after that, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Gosh, can't believe that. But anyway, heading to the customer now. So, see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Starbucks order. It was to the same daycare that I delivered yesterday, where I made the mistake of forgetting the two orders that I got were to the same person, and so like I said, I almost made a mistake. But anyway, all is good. I delivered to the secretary up there. She remembered me. We had a good laugh. So, and just as I got in the car, I got a order, and it's to the Sonic Drive-In. Now, I've been there but 2-3 times now, but the first couple times, it's just a drive-in place. And I parked and I walked to the door, and I'm not supposed to do that. That's what they told me, so I apologize. They told me that the next time I park in the park, but I gotta walk up. They have the ordering board that usually they have one for each parking spot where you order. Well, they have one in their little outdoor patio thing, so I gotta walk up to that, hit the button, and tell them, hey, I'm here to pick up a DoorDash offer or an order. So I'm heading to Sonic Drive-In. I said, this has been a while since I've done this. So anyway, heading there now. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm now leaving Sonic.
Drive southwest.
And unique is there were actually 2 orders to pick up, both going to the same customer. Probably what happened is the customer ordered something, then said, oh, darn it, I want to get this too, and they put in another order. So this will be my last dash for this morning, because it's now 8:49, about 10 minutes left on the dash. So it's a little bit out of town, and so that's by the time I get there, it'd be after 9 o'clock. So not too bad, it could have been worse, way better than it was last Monday. If you all remember, that was probably the worst day. Had first order I declined, kind of similar today, and then only had picked up 2 orders after that the entire morning, and then the rest of the day for lunch, hardly anything came along for 4 hours. I think I made only about $50 for the whole day. So, but like I said, that was a Monday and the day before payday. So anyway, I'm stuck at the red light right now, but heading over to the customer to deliver their Sonic. So I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that double order from Sonic. It's to a daycare. Drove by it many times. I've delivered in the neighborhood where the daycare is at. Of course, every time I come by, it's usually in the afternoon. I don't see any kids, but this morning, this happens to be not raining in this little area, and all the kids are out there. And they're having a good time. I remember, being a little kid. I remember when I was that young. That's my favorite thing. I don't know if it was different for y'all. My favorite thing was after a nap, we would have honey graham crackers and chocolate milk. I loved that. Always chocolate milk. I didn't, really, you get regular milk, when we have cereal and stuff like that. But getting chocolate milk, that was special. But yeah, oh God, it's ancient history. So anyway, that did conclude my morning dash. It wasn't too bad, especially the lack of orders, especially when I declined that god awful 30 miles and 30 mile back order. Hindsight, it was hit or miss. It was touch and go, but not too bad. So anyway, heading home, and I will give a summary of this morning dash, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, that is the end of the breakfast dash. Not too bad. Definitely way better than last Monday. According to the app, I did 6 deliveries on 5 orders. I did not accept that one order for a total of $35.68. Yeah, that's way better than last week at this time, but not too bad. I've had on average 20-25 on a breakfast, and this is 35, so not bad. Not as good as it was last month, Friday morning. So anyway, total dash time was 2 hours and 43 minutes. So I'm going to take a break, make an early lunch, and we'll see you back here at lunchtime. So until then, see you in a little bit. Welcome back. It is now time for the lunch dash. I said, took a quick break, had a little lunch. This morning dash was not too bad, not too great, but not too bad. So let's go ahead and get started for the lunch, and hopefully we have a better dash than we did this morning. So bring up the app and start the dash. There we go. So let's head over to my normal base station I do for lunch, and hopefully we get an order here real soon. So See you in a little bit. And once again, just as I was pulling out of the driveway, picked up an order for Chick-fil-A. Small little order, just under $4 and just a little over 4 miles. But like I said, beggars can't be choosers, and unless it's really extreme like that one this morning, I try to take every order. So, heading to not Jack's. I've been to Jack's so many times the past couple of days. So, anyway, heading to Chick-fil-A. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Chick-fil-A order to the business that I've delivered many times before. In fact, kind of know all the nuances of how because there are actually 2 different places in that business to deliver to. It was mostly to the employee break room. And just as I dropped off that order, I picked up a Jersey Mike's order. It's not a good one. It's $7, but it's 15 miles. But you know, it's a Monday. I kind of somewhat learned my lesson from this morning. I could have had that $15 one, but but that was 30 miles. I'm gonna bite the bullet here and try to accept every order that I can today to kind of, I need to make as much money as I can. But still, that hurt a little bit. But trying to keep up, I've already declined one offer today. I can't afford to decline another one. So here I go on my way to Jersey Mike's. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Jersey Mike's order to a place I'd never been to before, and I should have, but went to the county high school. And what makes it ironic is at our the current house we lived in 3 years, but we still have the old house that we're still trying to fix up and sell. Well, our old house is only a few miles from this place. But we in all the 20 years we lived at the other house, never came up this far. Because it's a little bit it's kind of a slightly out of the way from where we usually drive or something like that. So, but yeah, I was kind of confused because the address, gave him the address, and it says, okay, it's on the right, but there's nothing out here except for the school. So I quickly text, I said, is this the school? And she said, yeah. So anyway, a teacher had bought lunch for the office, or maybe the office manager bought lunch for everybody in the office. So the lady at the front desk was very happy to see me. So anyway, time to head back to base. It's going to take a little while, but at least it's not raining anymore. It's no longer wet and sloppy. But still have to be careful. The roads are still slightly wet. So anyway, heading back to base. See you in a little bit. Well, I made it back to my home base. Took a little while, but didn't wait too long. A couple minutes as I parked, I picked up an order for Little Caesars. Not the best, 6.5 at 9 miles, but I'll take it. It's something to do, and slowly but surely bring these orders in. So, on to Little Caesars. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Little Caesars order, and it's back to a familiar place. It's that I think I went a couple times last week. At least I know one time to the retirement home where I mentioned they had donkeys and horses out there. So yeah, that was pleasant. Still, I got about it's 12:34. About a little over 2.5 hours left. It's still overcast, but the temperature's gone up. It's according to the car, it's 79 degrees. But don't have the sun beating down on you. So now I'm heading back to home base and see if I can pick up another order. So anyway, see you in a little bit. Well, after I just delivered that last order, on my way to home base, so to speak, I picked up an order to Let's Go Tacos. That's the place where that's that small little independent mom and pop shop, and this gentleman that has his own taco truck, and every time I go there, there's a, you know, like I mentioned before, they only have like three tables, but every time I go there during lunch, they're packed, and it smells so good going there. I really need to order from there one time when the wife is in the mood for Mexican. So anyway, heading to Let's Go Tacos, and I will see you in a little bit. I just delivered a Let's Go Tacos order. Man, he was busy. He was just all by himself, and as I was standing there waiting for him to complete the order that I was picking up, 2 more DoorDash orders came in. Man, that man's hopping. He has no help right now. But he was going around like a crazy man. But he's a very nice gentleman, and just delivered in nice. As I approached the customer's house, kitty cat came out. You know me. I'm a softie for kitties. The cat belongs to them. He's an outdoor cat, and he had a collar on. His name is Junior. So, cats seem to know who are cat people, or kind people who are kind to animals. So, anyway, I'm slightly out of zone. A little over under 2 hours left in the dash, and it's a little slow today. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get lucky. So anyway, heading back. See you in a little bit. Well, I've been sitting here at home base for about 10 minutes when I finally picked up a order to Zaxby. These orders are small and long.
Right onto Von Lane.
What I mean by small amount but long distance. That's how they've been every one of them except for one. Small and long. Well, can't like I said, beggars can't be choosers. So on to Zaxby's. See you in a little bit. Well, just dropped off that Zaxby's order. It was supposed to be a drop off at the door, but the customer met me at the door, and it was a high school student. I was wondering, are you out of school today? Because this is the previous order, the one with the kitty cat, was also a young lady, which I think she was a student also. And he said, yeah, they got out early because they had, I think it was standardized testing, and once they're done, then they go home. So I said, boy, man, I remember those days, standardized testing. But I thought this was a little early to take standardized testing. I thought it was always in the spring. So who knows? Of course, when I was in school, that was ancient history. Like I said, when I was in school, dirt was invented, and we thought it was just a fad. So anyway, slightly out of zone. So I'm heading back, and I got exactly 1 hour left for this dash. Things are slow today, and almost all the orders are, low and long. So anyway, hopefully I get to pick up something here before in the dash. So see you in a little bit. Well, picked up another order. Been sitting here at home base for about 10 minutes. Based on the time. And I just picked up another Zaxby's order. But this one is not a low and long. This is high and low, or high and short order, which is the kind I like. So high money, short distance. So
Turn right onto Von Lane.
So actually, things might pick up here right in the last second. So back to Zaxby's. See you in a little bit. Well, this was interesting. As I was picking up that Zaxby order, I'm sitting there waiting for it. Boom, boom. Another Zaxby order came in. Another Zaxby order came in. So I waited a little longer, took that, And so this has happened before. It's like if a driver is at a restaurant already picking one, but there's another one comes in, but if both customers happen to be close to each other, either that or just the option of taking the order makes it easier. So I took it. It's kind of like a delayed stack order. So I'm on my way to the first customer. So I'll see you in a little bit. Left my phone. Well, I just finished completing delivering those 2 Zaxby orders, and they're 2 separate customers, but they're 2 customers that I've delivered before. So that was interesting. I met the lady, the first order I met the lady at the door, and I remember delivering to her once before. And the second order, I think this is the 5th time I've been to her house. The only reason I've met her a couple times. And the only reason I remember her door is on her door. There's a little black spot. And foolishly I pointed that out to her. My wife said, "You should have said that." Well, I was just, telling her the only reason I remember because you got a little paint spot on your door. So, anyhow. So I got 20 minutes left on the dash, and so I'm going to see if I can get one more order before the dash ends. It's been a slow day. It's been lower than last Monday's lunch, and that wasn't good. It seems like I got a few orders in, but they were kind of low amounts and long distances. Like I said, I want high amount and short distances. That's what I want. So anyhow, heading back to base, and keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully I get another order before the dash ends. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back. Got an order just in time. Got 5 minutes left in my dash. I was at base for about 5-10 minutes, and I picked up a Starbucks order, which is high and short, kind I like. So, but this will be my last dash of the evening. So, heading there now. So, see you in a little bit. Well, that was the last order of the day. Oh, it's not too bad. It's a quick little Starbucks order. And I saw when I approached the door, they had a cat tree. They had a double glass door there. And just as I walked back, the lady came out, said, "Thank you." I said, "Oh, you're welcome. Oh, yeah. I noticed your cat tree." So, "Oh, yeah." She said, the cat says, "There's the only one." All of a sudden, the cat jumped out. I said, "Oh, no." There's a cute little brindle cat. And But she didn't go far. She just jumped there, and the lady picked her up. But cute little cat. Like I said, I'm a softie for kitties. But I didn't get a chance to take a picture of her. But so yeah, that was nice. So that's the end of the dash. Not too bad. Definitely way better total wise than last Monday. I have to look and see what I did last Monday compared to what I did this Monday. So anyway, I'm gonna do a quick errand, and then I'm gonna head back to the house, and then I'll supply the summary of the day. So until then, I'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back. It's now the end of my lunch dash. It was okay, not the best. That last order I picked up put me over $50, so my total is $50.79. But the thing is, I had 8 offers and 8 deliveries, but I only made $50. So there was a lot of low and long orders on that. But you know, beggars can't be choosers. Dash time was 4 hours and 17 minutes. So basically, with the combination of this morning and this afternoon, I made just slightly over, close to like $85. So anyway, you know, it's a Monday, was slow. We'll have to see if things pick up for tomorrow. But I appreciate you coming with me. If you like this video, please select like. If you like the channel, or you'd like to see you help me build this channel, I ask you to subscribe and click on the notification. And I think the subscribe button is right here. So anyway, we will see you tomorrow for the breakfast dash. So have a good night. Bye.